Cadillac coming into 2026. Who will be their driving lineup coming to it next season? Yeah, Cadillac. It's been rumored, for a while now with Andretti, the Andretti Sport, and then collabing with Cadillac, just finally get into, at first it was rejected. F1 come in a statement saying, Andretti stuff got rejected, blah, 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 blah. And then some deal with Cadillac and, Andretti, whatever. And now it's been officially confirmed for a couple weeks now that Cadillac will be the 11th team in the grid coming into F1, which it was just like mind blowing. It's crazy. Finally, another team coming up F1. There's so much talent. It reminds me kind of the CDO, the Car League, that there's so much talent. Like without these 20 drivers, don't get what am I saying? There's just so much talent in F2 and whatever. You see the likes of right this season. How many rookies there are with Barcelona and Kimi, Berman. There's just so much talent. And then 11 team is I guess is good. Depends how they pick their driving lineups, which I think just you can go so many ways. You can go for a young 2-pair driving lineup. You can go for a what's it called? You can go for a experienced driver lineup, with the likes of, if you want to go for maybe a Valtteri Bottas and a Sergio Perez, or if you want to go a younger route, you can go for younger route. Maybe you go for a Joe. For me, if he hasn't really, proved, or you can go in F2 and see there. Logan Sargent's probably never getting a chance back into F1. People say they want some IndyCar drivers. The Cadillac driver, which I forget his name, rumored to be in Cadillac for F1. A Pato Award. Who knows? For me, I think 100% guaranteed, without a doubt, they should go for Checo Perez. Checo Perez, with the season he had last season, ruined his stock, I feel like. But he has so much to give, besides, if you want to say his driving, which, I think in another team he would actually perform really well. I think that if he joins, of course, the money is a huge thing. If he joins Cadillac, he has so much backing him up, which was the key thing with Red Bull. It was kind of hard with the amount of sponsors that he brings into F1, or into Red Bull. And now you can go with Cadillac, new up-and-coming team. Obviously they're not going to be amazing at the start. So, we'll see what happens with that. But I think Sergio Perez is a number one choice for him. And he said right here, Sergio Perez exclusive reels talks with a few teams. I wonder who those few teams are, because I feel like most of the teams here are already set for the future. Maybe a Haas if you want to get rid of Esteban Ocon. But besides that, I don't really see. Maybe a Sauber. But I think Hulkenberg is actually a really good driver, and I want him to be in the top team. I think maybe like an Aston Martin he would have suited well with. Or, yeah, probably just an Aston Martin. Hulkenberg has done amazing things with Haas, with that car not being as good for a couple of years. And then last season they finally had a stint. I think Hulkenberg was guaranteed, stay in Sauber. And then, Portillo, he is the F2 champion. You're not going to drop him. It depends, too, if you have an underperforming season. Or if you want to go to Alpine with Duhan, but there's also links with Franco Colapinto. So, I say it like 6 teams out of the 10 right now. Probably even more. Red Bull's probably locked in. Yeah, he's definitely not going back to Red Bull. Ferraris is out. Mercedes is out. You want to say Aston Martin? But Lance Stroll is actually performing really well. And I can't see them dropping Fernando Alonso. I think they need him more than Alonso needs them to an extent. And then Williams, I think they have a really strong driver lineup. Carlos hasn't really, shown it yet, which I think he will, because after that crash in Australia. But, yeah, I mean, there's Haas, which I said before, if you want to kick out Ocon. The Spearman underperforms. It's a whole thing. Who knows? But for me, Cadillac, if they were number one choice, I'd go for Sergio Perez. And for the second driver lineup, honestly, if I were them, I would try to go for Hulkenberg. I'm a huge fan of Nico Hulkenberg. I think he deserves his flowers. I think he's really underrated. I think I think right now you should bring in a name that will help bring value to the team. Because you're just starting off. If you want to go for a Danny Ricciardo, maybe. I don't know how good that pairing would be. A Checo and a Ricciardo. If you want, I don't mind. Honestly, I don't mind seeing that duel. I don't mind seeing Checo and Ricciardo. I think it'll bring a lot of value to the team, a lot of sponsors. Helping the car. Danny Rick hasn't, similar to Perez, didn't have a really good season last year. And, Lawson only having 2 race weekends and then getting dropped. It's crazy to see how long, Perez had a stint for. It's crazy how long, if you want to go back to Nick DeVries, how long he had a stint for, and Logan Sargent. It's just crazy for me that Liam Nelson just dropped like that. So, if he underperforms in if he underperforms in RB, maybe Cadillac is an option for him coming to 2026. Or maybe he wants to get out of that whole system. Who knows? But yeah, this is really pretty much my thoughts about, the whole situation of Checo Perez. I think Checo Perez, without a doubt, 100%, should be their main number one driver coming to F1. Because I feel like he has still a lot to prove, and fans love him. Everyone loves Checo. And maybe he was right. Maybe he was right about, or maybe Toto was right, saying Checo has been saying the car is fucked, because, it probably was. I remember last season, people were clowning Checo because he was saying that the car is off, blah, blah, blah. I remember, I think this was Miami. I believe he came out with that. Yeah, I think it's from Miami. And I remember reading that, I'm like, I believe Perez. And then other people were just clowning him, saying, no, he's just not good. Max is winning all these races. Or was it last season or the season before? Because it was when Max was winning everything. I think it was probably last season, early in Miami. And then, maybe beforehand, who knows. But, yeah, I remember him saying that. And then people were saying Max is winning all these races. It's not the car, it's him. And I'm like, I guess maybe. But now I really think that, and they Red Bull proved the fact that I think they said that, he was right. So, it's crazy to see the whole Red Bull situation. Helmut Marko, I'm not a fan of Helmut Marko. Christian Horner, I'm kind of losing a little bit more respect for him. I think that I was a huge fan of Christian Horner, but at the moment, I've always been a Horner than a Toto guy, but it's starting to change a little bit more. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think Checo should get the seat, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time.